Hey guys, it's 007 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the F-104, the Mirage, the Sukhoi 7, and maybe a couple other planes if we really can narrow the window out for it. I know it's been a little bit of a while and all that between videos and everything. It's just, obviously life has been catching up and all that, with the pandemic and everything else going on, especially the finishing up of the semester for education and all that. So, back to gamer times. Basically what we're going to talk about today is just highlight the aircraft that they were basically going out, and they did the whole dev server showcase. Everyone who saw that, or who knows of it, very much knew the information about what I'm about to basically talk about here. But we're just going to talk about a little bit of the highlights in this, more or less. Go a little bit more in depth than they are. Maybe not as in depth as other people. I'll definitely recommend some other people, especially their videos and all that. For the F-104, there's a great video that someone did. Not for War Thunder in the sake, but you guys will probably know him if you follow a lot of the aviation-based games. Winky face. Anyways, we'll just start with the F-104. I'm really excited that they added the F-104. It's a huge deal that they added Italy to the game, as in giving them the 104, giving them a supersonic, and really putting them in a competitive field. I know there's a lot of people that are running skeptics right now as to whether or not this plane can really hold its own, especially in the missile Wild West shooting range that it is right now. And it will be tough to say, this is kind of a step doctrine we haven't really seen in the game. I can't think of any time in the game we can really compare this aircraft to being added. Some people made the argument for the T2, but I don't even think it's that close. The missiles that have been slung in these matches are way above the capability. At least in the later, portion, what we're talking about more recently, exceed anything that the T2 has really dealt with when it came to fighting F-100s and MiG-19s. We really have something here on our hands. It's going to be a real experiment. That's what the F-104 is going to be in this whole thing. I might just do a quick flight with this and all that. Just to highlight some of the cool stuff and everything. This is basically relative upgraded performance. I don't have the plane. I only could do so much as what I could do and everything. Got off of work today, did as much as I could. Got a lot of stuff trying to basically get done and all that, but hopefully we should be freed up for the weekend. Unfortunately, the dev server is only one day, which really kills the vibes. Not gonna lie. I'm really excited for this plane to be added. There's a lot of reputation with this plane, and hopefully a lot of it's understood. But I tell you what, right off the bat, if you don't recognize it, I know we got the speed indicator up, but I don't have IAS. There's a lot of settings that have been kind of dropped from what I normally have, but a lot of it should still be there. This thing is just so quick and accelerating. That's what's going to be the huge selling point of this thing. Is the front line just dead speed, low on the deck. It's one of the fastest planes on the deck, historically. It's crazy. Obviously the gun, tried, true, trusted. We know the famous Vulcan 20mm Gatling gun. This plane is going to be really exciting to watch. Like I said, the speed of this thing is incredible, and it won't be really that turn-fighting aircraft. This plane will dominate in the hands of people who know where to be in the match and when to be in the match. That's the key thing. You're not going to be running in there, trying to just catch people unawares, because people will see you, and they will try and get you out of the match, because they know you can do some acceleration stuff. You got to stay off to the side, and then make your slicing passes on, the unawares people, and then make some late game, power moves. Whatever it takes. It's got the speed, it's got the guns that'll overtake whatever it needs to. The radar is good. It's definitely better than the Lightning, which I guess isn't saying too much, but really good stuff. I really like the F-104. Landing characteristics seem fairly historical, and I don't mean that in the sense that it's really peachy to land. But yeah, other than that, pretty good. Really happy with it. Really excited to try it. Hopefully it gets better missiles. you know, we'll see what happens. But beyond that, we'll move on to the next plane. Okay, following that, we're going to go right to the Mirage because that's one of the hot topics and all that. I know a lot of people during some of the videos previously that were put on the channel, they really... Oh, please don't put me in a match. Oh god, well, we're going to have a match. Basically, a lot of people really showed the discontent for the fact that Italy and France were being shortchanged another patch less than 1.97. I really couldn't agree more with them. It just was a really bad time. But yeah, obviously we have some unique weapons on here. Obviously we're aware of the 30G missiles. It's a very big topic right now. Got a lot of people's attentions. Should be interesting to see how these play out in the gameplay. I'm kind of skeptical of how they'll play out against the Phantoms. The tracking warhead, I've not seen anyone with a Phantom really toe-to-toe to this. It really has the same kind of characteristics as the J35 in the sense that it has no flaps. It can't do quite the pitch effect that the J35 can. Sorry, I had a sneeze there. But, yeah. It can still do some really cool stuff. Low edge, angle of attack, really cool stuff. I'm really excited for it. I know it's going to be one of the top planes I'm going to pursue right when the patch drops. You could almost say right out of the gate I'll probably go after this thing. It's a really exciting patch so far, and I don't even think all that many vehicles, are quite defined. Obviously, I'm more or less covering the aviation to the best I can in this whole time slot here. I got like maybe a couple minutes, maybe an hour or two left, but we're going to try and see what we can do here. But yeah, no, like, I'm really excited to see how the medium-range missiles pan out. I'm really kind of disappointed to see the United States not see the Sparrows yet still. I'd like to see them added. I think it'd be a unique element to the game. I know people would probably contend, the balance and the status of all that stuff. That's an understandable debate. I'd be willing to talk about it, but one of the big things is with the Sparrows and low altitude is they require a radar beam effective signature that allows the missile to track. And if you fly low enough, that defeats well, not defeats it, but it makes it harder for the radar to seek, whatever is down near the terrain. See if we can get some results here. No, we're not going to fire on that guy. He's turning too hard. As I say that, he levels out his turn. But, once again, just a reiteration of what, is being seen. It's really fantastic stuff. I don't even see what the tracking node is for this. See if we can lower altitude, catch a seek. Or reset the seeker. It's going to be close. Yeah, he's going head on. I'm not playing that. I'll go vertical with him. Well, there you go. You're going to see some dogfighting. Tendor will give me a damn good run for my money. Yeah, I'm not messing with them. Where's aisle 28 man again? There we go. We'll deal with the Vautour. I'm just trying to keep this in the speed of time and all that. I'd love to fight this guy, but we don't have the time. Wow. Oh, that might be it right there. Yep. So that's the 15G missile, obviously, not the Magic. Magic's a lot more fun, obviously. It's almost like some people say Magic. But yeah, really good stuff. I'm really excited for this plane. Like I said, it's going to be worth the time. Like, when they had the J35 and everything, playing that plane, it was worth the time. I'm glad, by the way, that they're giving it its new upgraded missiles. That will definitely give it a competitive edge and can basically put it on the level that it should be with regards to the top tier jets. Very, very much looking forward to that. We'll have to see how it fully pans out from the larger picture. Let's see if we can catch him now with the Magic. Fox 2. Cloud saved him right there. No, I can't dodge this. And that's... his magic show's over. But yeah, overall, that's basically what I have to say. You know, really good stuff for the Mirage. I'm really excited. We'll kill this Spitfire, and then we'll walk it to the next plane. See if we can keep this speedy. Oh, he's tumbling. No, I'm not gonna take that. We'll just move on to the next match. But yeah, once again, I'm just reiterating. It's so far it's panning out to be really cool. Yeah, cool thing trophy. Wow, B1 tour, love it. Germany obviously getting some F86, the F86K and the G91Y R4. That's very good. I'm really glad to see that they're still getting stuff to research. Keep the German players busy. You know, stuff that'll keep the people that are basically I want to say one tricking. That's kind of the way just to say it, but the people that are focused on one tech tree. And I've spoken with some people on the stream when looking at the dev server. They really highlighted the fact, and all that. It's funny. People kind of check the reputation and all that on the tech trees. Like, so many people have gone up to me and said, "Oh, is this your first time playing France?" You know, not in the sense of how I was playing, but it seemed like so many people have just seen people that have never played France all of a sudden play France, and they just feel like it's kind of being violated space. It's kind of weird that people are doing that. I don't know what to say about it. I will say it was really kind of irritating to see the community kind of go end to end with each other over the Mirage 3 and the F104. You know, people like complaining about people spamming the request for the Mirage 3 and the F104 to be added. But they're entitled to their right and request. I mean, there are people that have been asking for the F14, the F15, and the F16 for a good solid probably 6 months now. I wouldn't be having it either, but you know, it's what you got to deal with. So, like I said, short term, good stuff for Germany. Good to see that they're getting stuff. F3H, nice to see that the demons being added. I've never even knew what the demon until added. That's kind of the nice thing about this game is some planes you just see get added, and you just start learning about them in the sense they're added. I found this plane to be pretty good. I'm not going to try and fly it right now. There's nothing really interesting that I can do with it besides land on a carrier, but you know, we've seen people land on carriers before. Moving forward, I mean, I'll look at the modifications quick. It's got a good variety of stores. 3,000-pound bomb. Now that sounds interesting. We might have a look at that eventually, but not right now. Big thing forward. Really excited to see. I'm really definitely willing to commit to researching this. What is this research? That's pretty crazy. Anyways, yeah, good plane. Definitely interested. It has good combat handling. We'll move on to Britain. Scimitar, I'm kind of impressed with its low end speeds. It's got good top speed, but really the two don't really mix together. I've not really seen this thing handle very well when it comes to high speed. It compresses like crazy. When this thing compresses behind you, you're just literally just dancing all around the front of it until it just overshoots. Nice thing about this thing though is it has the flaps and the air brakes to slow itself down. So that's one thing good going for it. It's just gonna be a matter of timing the air brakes and stuff. But good amount of ammo for the guns, and I would say the missiles are definitely relevant. I think it gets 4 Sidewinders, yeah, 4 AIM-9Bs at 9.3. That'll do you just fine. Won't be fantastic, but it'll work. That's all I'm going to say for the Scimitar. I will say for the Lightning, they did buff its performance. I was dogfighting a MiG-21 SMT, I believe. Really cool dogfight with that. I don't know if I have the footage of it, but it was really fun. We were really like on top of each other, and I was staying with them the entire time. I was accelerating so much faster now. You can tell this plane has changed, and I'm glad it's gone for that direction. Moving on, we'll hit up. I don't think Japan got anything for the air. I know they got the B6N2. Well, I'll take a look at that quick. I'm pretty sure this looks like the B5N1. Just has guns in it, probably. No guns still. Still interesting plane. Would still be down for it. Does it get anything unique bomb-wise? No. Well, there you go. Moving forward, China got an F-40. If you haven't seen an F-40, then you haven't been playing this game. Obviously F-104, France. Sweden, like I said, we talked about the J-35D getting the R-24 Jerichos. There we go. Really good stuff. Obviously I don't have it, but you know what they are. They're just A9Js. Really good to see that, though. Really going to make this plane competitive. I've really had fun playing it. It's so much fun dogfighting with it. I've shaken so many R60s. It's pretty funny. Definitely would recommend still going for this plane. It is going to be worth the time. Might not have the countermeasures like the Phantoms. The Phantoms have really been dominating the picture. It's going to be a big question mark this coming patch, whether or not the Phantoms will still retain the dominance after the Russians and I guess slight Germans, I guess you could say, got their R60s buffed to 30 G's tolerance. It's going to be very interesting. We'll have to see how that plays out. I don't think the MiG-21s will step above the Phantoms. They'll definitely have some unique placements when it comes to dealing with certain situations. Maybe in a fatigue state, they'll be able to really force down the Phantoms or overwhelm them if they have the sheer numbers or the variety. Like I said again, I don't think the 30Gs is really going to be too big of a factor, especially against Mirage versus MiG-21s. You'll feel the difference in the missiles. Don't get me wrong, you'll tell. But as far as it goes with this stuff right here, nah. I'm going to say the Phantoms will be just fine. And as long as they don't touch flares, that's of course the big caveat. Or the seeker heads. Moving back, let's hit the Soviet Union. This is one of the exciting planes that I really was not expecting. Although I will put a complaint out. I really think that they should keep the Sukhoi line in the sense of the ground attackers. I don't really know much about the Sukhoi 7B, that variant. I know the Sukhoi 7 as a whole was primarily dedicated to the ground attack role. Obviously, they've mentioned that it has ground attack weapons right here. You can obviously see that stuff. That's very much what this plane was famous for, was ground attack. And I will say its landing or its part configuration is quite hilarious. But really, really, I am very excited to see this plane added. And I swear, I might even slip the clip in. Oh, look at that! I've got something. I might even slip the clip in where basically, the famous dogfight, one of the dogfights episodes in the Middle East, where you have the Yuri Epstein, basically, I'm pretty sure that's his name, but hopefully I didn't screw that up. Basically him taking down the Sukhoi 7 as his first air-to-air kill.
At that time I was 250 behind him and I gave a very short breath. And the Sukhoi 7 has a huge engine, really huge. All the bullets go inside this engine, and it was a tremendous explosion. And when he came out of the explosion, there is only wings and nose. And this little aeroplane that left make the smallest loop I ever seen in my life. And he was in the ground.
I swear, the people at Gaijin just watched the episode and they were like, that'd be cool if we just had the Sukhoi 7 and the Mirage 3 at the same time. It just seems like that was just what they were looking at the time. Basically, really, really fantastic plane. Very good to accelerate. Very bad at decelerating, I will say. Turns very uniquely. It's very close to a MiG-19 in its bad moments, which relative, it's pretty good, but yeah, it's a pretty nice plane. I would love to fly it, and if I had the time, I'd love to see how it pans out. I saw Mirage's decking it like crazy, but that's the Mirage in its current state, and it's being unchecked. So, once again, very exciting stuff. Like I said, I think the Sukhoi 7 should go down this line. I agree with the Lavochkin line being turned into a Sukhoi fighter line later on, but I just don't know if I could really consider the 7B as a fighter more than it would be a fighter bomber. Maybe that designation needs to come out. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. You guys put your thoughts in if you think about it. But I know that these lines, the Sukhoi and the Yak lines, or sorry, the Lavochkin and the Yak lines are going to have to convert into something. Otherwise, they're just going to be dead stops, and the MiG line is just going to go all the way. And, this line here for ground attack. It just, I think personally, it just makes sense. Sukhoi 7, maybe, I don't know if the Sukhoi 9 was considered a ground attacker, but obviously, you would see the Sukhoi 24 and 25, aircraft that weren't designed as fighters, but ground attack role. And then you could have something off the Lavochkin/Yak lines that becomes something more like that of the fighter/interceptor line. Like I said, just food for thought. Maybe even turn this line right here into the MiG-31/MiG-25. Like I said, we're just putting thoughts out here. But primarily that's what I've got for basically everyone, and all the nations that have basically had their planes added. If you guys want to do like a ground forces one, I would be down for it. There's a lot of stuff they added for ground forces. I just don't know if I can cover it all with all the Air Forces stuff. Yeah. That's basically all I got. So, if you got any questions about some of the planes and flying them and all that, I'm down to answer more questions in the description. Also, or comment section. Additionally, I will link the Discord if you guys want to join. I'm basically open and available. If I'm on it, then that probably means I'm able to play something. Beyond that, yeah. Throw it in the comment section or I'll see you in the Discord. I'll see you guys later.